G'day folks. Well, I'm doing what I think a lot of people should be doing is staying away from people and keeping yourself busy. Well, that's what I'm doing. I've pulled the brake system out of the car, guys. So this is part 2 of the brake upgrade on the rear. So I've pulled out the brake booster. I've pulled all the brake lines out, the whole lot, and it was a mess. All the brake, geez, I tell you what, I'm glad I actually pulled all the brake lines out because they were fairly well corroded, especially up around near the diff area and up along underneath the body. So 1975 this was built, so it's 35 years old. So time for new brakes all round. Well, as you know, I said I was going to use the same disc and rotor on the rears. Well, I've just pulled the front ones off and I've been busy, guys. Well, I haven't done a hell of a lot, but I've been busy and it's starting to come together nicely. It really is. So these are a DBA, so Disc Brake Australia. That's their club spec rotor. So it's a floating rotor, obviously. I've lost 5 mil. Well, actually, it's kicked the wheel out 5 mil more, but I've got enough room on the inner guard to clear it. So it actually worked out really, really well. Believe it or not, this centering part here for the disc is perfect. There's actually a little step, and you can probably just see it in the camera there. And there's actually a tiny little step on the axle on this part here, and this lines up perfect. So what a win that was. There was no mucking around there. She just pushed straight on. Awesome. That's, I think, roughly where I'm going to run my caliper. I didn't want to put it on the rear side. It tells me that it's a counterlever effect. Oh, look, at the end of the day, it's probably very minimal, but I thought I'd sort of keep it sort of in that vicinity, sort of offset a little bit on the downside. And yeah, I think it's going to work really, really nice. I'm really stoked with it, actually. The idea, guys, is why I chose the front to put on the back. If I ever upgrade the front, I can't sort of go any bigger in the rotor, but at least on the front I could probably upgrade with a 4-piston caliper if I wanted to, make some bracketry up and mount those. So basically I'll have a spare set for the rear if I ever need it. But look, these the front brakes that I've been using for a long time have been incredible. So considering that the rear drums give out after a few laps, the front's been having to pull the whole car up pretty much, and geez, they've been good. I'm really, really happy with them. So these should be incredible. Amazing. I'll show you what I did. I'll go in under the car in a sec, but I'll show you what I did to make up a bracket. Now these are the front bracketry, and all I did was made up a template off this one to go around the axle tube, and I got my local fabrication shop to cut out 10 mil thick, so what, about 3/8 thick, and profile that. Done a nice job, the boys. Thanks, Brett, for that. You did a really good job. It fits like a glove, as you'll see in a second. So yeah, that was a really good little win, that. you can see there, guys. That's a bit awkward, that, I tell you. Just hang on a sec. There you go. I'm going to drill a heap of holes in it to lighten it a little bit, because it is quite a heavy piece. But they came up really good. Obviously I'll tack it on once I clean off the paintwork around there. I'll tack it on, make sure it's all right, and then I'll pull the axles out so I don't cook the seals. And yeah, geez, I'm happy with that. That came up really, really nice. So what a great little win that. You know, this whole job is actually going to cost less than I would have bought, well, than I would have if I'd have bought a kit to suit, and a smaller disc too. So this actually, the price of this setup is going to be about the same, but I'll end up with a new complete braking system, bigger rear brakes, and a pedal box too, which I'm about to show you guys. I've got the door off because it makes life easy. It's a real fiddly one, this. Now this pedal box that I was talking about last time is made by Comp Brake, a UK design or UK made, and it's a universal one, so you can run that on the floor, turn it up the other way, so you just turn the cylinders around, or you can run it like that. And I ended up running it like that, guys, and it's in a perfect spot. I originally thought I was actually having to run it on the floor, and I didn't want to cut the floor out. But I thought, well, being a universal, you can either have it a top mount or an under mount, and it's just perfect. It really is. This has got the swivel, it's like a bias control, and I'll pull it out in a sec and I'll show you how that sort of works. But it's a dual cylinder, and comes through there nicely. So how cool's that? And I've got some little external what do you call it, little bottles, little filler bottles that I'll mount up there. They supply a bracket and everything, so it's going to be awesome. I've got a local trailer business, and they do brake lines and everything like that, so I'm going to get some hard lines off them, and I'll run it all through inside the cab to the rear, and I'll reroute it all around the front, and I'll get them to flare the ends for me, because they've supplied me fittings to the master cylinders, and yeah, I'll go that route and work my way through it, and yeah, I'll keep you all posted on it. But I think that looks really nice, and I've saved 8 kilogram, guys, by pulling out the booster. So there was 10 kilo with the booster and the bias, the pedal, all the associated crap that went with it, and this only weighs 2 kilo, that pedal box. It's friggin' amazing, it really is. So I can't wait to, well, I can wait, but I'm just excited. I really am. It's awesome. All right, I'll pull this pedal box out and I'll show you how this works. All right, we'll check that out. See, being universal, you can either have it a top mount, the way I've got it, or if you want to, you just a matter of unbolting these and spinning the cylinders around, and you can have it mounted on the floor. So it's a nice bit of gear, UK made. This turned up within 5 days of ordering this, you know. It was amazing, from over in the United Kingdom. Now this is what I really like. This is the, I don't know what they actually call it, but it's a bias, well, a spherical bearing. It uses in the middle here, and you can adjust this and have it, obviously, you know, front brake, rear brake, and you can adjust it. And I'll just show you when I move it. I've got it adjusted. So this one, yeah, it goes in first. So if that's the front brake, sure if you can see it there, but see that how it moves? That's awesome. And if you want it the other way, till that's full the other way, look. And that's how you get bias control, front to rear, vice versa. Now the real cool bit about this is that cable that they've supplied me with, and a knob. This attaches, the end of the cable attaches to here, and you can turn that knob, set it up so it's within reach, nice easy reach, and you can tune this on the fly. So you can adjust this. If the track's a bit wet and your backs are locking up, you can put a little bit more front in, less back, and you can adjust it on the go. So I think that's flaming awesome. What a cool idea. And these are the little reservoirs they give you with the mounting brackets. Obviously I've got to have to find some lines for that. These are the little fittings they supply going into the master cylinder. So once I determine and get my brake lines all sort of bent up and sorted out, pull it out, and then I can take them up to my trailer place, and they can slide this over the pipe and flare the fitting to go into the master cylinder. So I need a little flexi line from the chassis in the back to the diff, but and the rest of it, well, I've got the flexi line off the front, and yeah, it's all hard lines, so this will be amazing. I might put a line lock in later. I'm not really going to do it at the minute, but I will put one in so I can lock off the back brakes for whatever reason. Burnouts or whatever, if I want to sort of do a foot and toe, it would be nice. So yes, so that's the brakes at the moment. It's all coming together nicely. I'll do another little vid when I get this mounted, and I'll show you how I mounted it, and when I've welded off the rear tabs, and we'll go from there. Yeah, oh geez, this is really going to transform the car, guys. This will really give me incredible braking, because that's where I've been really lacking, and I've had no confidence in my brakes for a long time. Well, ever really. And now, once I get this sorted out, I can really, really lean on the brakes, and this is where it's at, guys. This is where I can really make up an amazing amount of time. If I can make up a second each corner, there's no doubt that it'll get me, I can basically, with this gearing, I can be really knocking on the door of 60 seconds. Because I've done a 64 at the minute. Well, if I can knock a second off each corner, which is 3 hard braking corners, there's nearly 60, 61 seconds with this gearing the way it is. And that's just 3 brakes. So it may be more, who knows? So I know that I'm not braking that hard, to be honest. I'm braking very conservatively, and a lot of guys are just completely running away with me, especially the smaller cars. And that's where they're really making up the distance through brakes. Be very, very interesting when I get it all going, guys. I can't wait. All right, folks, well, that's a little update for now. Take care. We know what's going on in the world at the moment. It's not real good, but just take care, guys, and limit your chance with the public. I think that's the best advice I can give. Just keep to yourselves until this sort of thing runs its course, and stay safe, guys. I'll pop one up soon because I'm doing some other little things too, but I'll save that for the next video. So this is all good down here now. We're hunkering down and just laying low. All right, guys, take care. I'll catch you later.